Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you are in the world today, I hope that you are doing great. Hope that all is pleasant for you. And most importantly, my friends, I hope that you are doing great. And I hope that all is pleasant for you and that you are in good health. Once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. On this channel, my friends, we get to talk about those things that people know, that people have thought about, but don't often have the time to discuss. These, my friends, are the things we discuss here on the Common Sense channel. So, once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. So, I just want to talk about the Strait of Hormuz. I think by now most of us know what this place is. But if you don't, the Strait of Hormuz is a little water passage, it's a waterway where for maybe, let's say, decades, for as long as that place been in existence, shipping line, um, ships, or method of maritime has used that place for commercial reasons, for recreation reasons, for many other reasons. And it's always been there. It is in the so-called Middle East, between the Gulf states. So for today's video, we're going to be focusing on the battle for the Strait of Hormuz. And I think the battle for the Strait of Hormuz is a dumb, as Trump said, dumb war. It's the battle for nothing. And I heard from the grapevine that Mr. Trump, Presidente, the one that called all the other presidents before him dumb, and the one that says that he was not going to play from their playbook, because as I've said in many videos, all the American presidents before Mr. Trump, they all, my friends, have been running on a script. Whatever is just few time, or for the most part, it's been maybe one or two of them try to diverge or move away from that script. But even if they do, it's never always ended good for them. You understand? But all American presidents before Mr. Trump has always been on the script. You understand? So, and I think that was the hook that Trump used to grab most of the fishes in the ocean when he said that he will not fight a dumb war or go into any war that was dumb. Doesn't mean that George Bush didn't know what he was doing. It doesn't mean that Barack Obama didn't know what he was doing. These people were all running on script. Even the one before, Lyndon Johnson, what is it? We know Eisenhower saw it, and he won the country. I think it was at that time he saw what was happening. But yes, all of them before Eisenhower, or not before Eisenhower, after Eisenhower, they all been on script. So when Trump came and said he was going to change things around, and this is true, I mean, we all saw it. I'm going to continue to talk about Trump. And I'm going to talk about Trump because he owed me my vote. And I don't take my vote lightly. You understand? My vote is not for free. Um, I don't take my vote lightly because I don't want to be fooled by no one. And also, my allegiance is not to Trump. My allegiance is to this country. Why is that? Because to become an American citizen, especially if you're from underdeveloped countries, as they like to call it, underdeveloped world, underdeveloped countries, you are required, not have to, you are required to relinquish your citizenship of birth. You know what I mean? That means where you're from is of recent that we learned that certain people don't have to. That it is of recent that we learned that some people have dual citizenship and no one ever questioned that. You understand? And for those people that don't have choice, they have to relinquish their citizenship. They don't take it lightly. That if you swear an allegiance to a country, you are allegiant to that country. So if I give my vote, when I vote and give my vote to a president, and based on what he or she says, they have to do it. I mean, I'm not playing that hanky panky, and I think the world is not going to be the same after Trump. Yes, not going to be the same after you. Like, I don't know where you live, what world, maybe Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, whatever you find yourself. In reality, we live on Earth, and our world is changed now. What do I mean by that? That whatever is happening in real time, President Trump, we can see these things. We can see them in real time. It's not like gone are the days where you can hide things from the masses of people. I'm not saying that they're not gullible people out here. They are gullible. There are a lot of people, but they're not the majority of people that don't know what's happening. Maybe the older generation. And that's normal for the older generation to be like that. It happens to every generation, not just their group. But I think the Gen Zs, our generation, and our children. Now, if I don't even need to say much to my son. He already knows who Trump is. Imagine that. He knows who the president is. He knows more than I do. So, our world has changed, Mr. President. And because you owe me my vote, I voted for you because you said you're not going to start no war. Not only dumb war, but you said you're going to be the president that ends all wars. And that's why I'm going to keep talking about you, because you owe me my vote. And millions of Americans out here that were misled, misguided, deceived by you. Whether you like it or not, it's the truth. There are many of us here in this country that are against war. We are anti-war. I'm one of those. I'm not hoping for you to ever see it, but in our world today, you can see war, the dangers of war, the ills of war, the victims of war, the abuse of war, the injustice of war, the blind eye of war, eyes of war. Those people who are failing to say the truth of war, they call them the fog of war. The fog of war are those things that are happening in the scene, on the background, underground, during war that you don't get to see, my friends. Those are the fogs of war. And I know President Trump sees these things. it's been said that he is going to be having a talk with the country, and I think it's Thursday. Um, my hope, Mr. Trump, is that you would come on to the stage that day, Thursday. I think this says 9 p.m. They always do 9 p.m. And you would look at the situation and you look behind your back. Because sometimes when you're standing facing the world, you don't get to look behind you for the most part. But I know you're going to have two or three individuals standing behind you that day when you give this speech. And before you begin the speech, I want you to look at them. For the most part, they might be younger than you. Just look at them. Give them 5 seconds of look. Stare at them from the top to the bottom and tell them, Mr. Presidente, tell them that I am gonna, if whatever decisions I will make today, these decisions are your future. Let them know before you even, if you don't want to stare at them looking from the back, talk to them before you come onto that stage and tell them, I'm throwing away your future. You know why? Because the world is changed. The world is changed, Mr. Presidente. Those people that you are surrounding yourself with, they are young, some of them. And they know the reality. The world has changed, Mr. Presidente. And America is asking to be free. America is asking to move on from the past. I'm always going to talk about this because I see what's going to happen. And whatever is going to happen in the battle for the Strait of Hormuz, it's not going to be something that I'm not going to say work in the favor of America, because in war, no one wins except those who had an agenda going into it. Even them, they changed the cause, because whenever there's a war, a major war battle, something has to change. It changes a lot of things. You may not see it because maybe you're looking at it from your own viewpoint, but those people who are the winner, the victims, the losers, the sideliners, the instigators, the money makers, the money changers, the suppliers, the producers, these are the ones that all of them have their own perspective, and all of them have their own gains and losses. So at the end of the day, none of these people are winners. Everyone is a loser. So the reason why I think your speech on Thursday should just be about telling the American people it's time to just move on. Call it a quit. Just call it out. Just say, that's it. Finito. Vamut. Allons-y. Allez. Va ta place. We are moving on. Because that area, Mr. Trump, doesn't belong to America. America is over maybe 4,000 miles away from that place. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but maybe 4,000 miles away from the Strait of Hormuz. So it don't make no sense to fight for that. Who are you fighting for it for? Israel is all the way on the other side. You know, Israel is not even around that place. Because I've always known this, that Israel is a colony state. It is. I've known this for decades now. I mean, you can see it. It's not something that you need someone to tell you. If you pay attention, you see. It's always been. The inception of Israel is a colony, you know. Just like America is a colony to England, even though some Americans think they're free. Nah. America is still a colony of England. You understand? Their banking system is the same. Most of everything that America does is the same as England. The American Revolutionary War did not end with the expulsion of England. You understand? Even though America had to fight England, but England is still involved in the creation, development of this country. You know? So England had to move aside for America to take over. You understand? They had to give up a lot of things for this country to be what it is. You don't know it. England is still the colonizer of this country. So is America and Israel. You understand? America is never going to turn their back at Israel. All these people making noise out here, they're just wasting their time. And it's the truth. So I think Israel can do better if they just walk away too, because the fight for the Strait of Hormuz is not just for America, it's for Israel too. I mean, all those Arab countries in it, the Arabs will already know. There's a common saying, the sorry Arabs. Yeah, if you never heard that, the sorry Arabs, they don't fight. They are not people that believe in freedom. You understand? They believe in their religion. And religion don't do anything for you. Religion don't invent nothing. Religion does not, if you go to their country for a long time, most of the Gulf states, they were backward. If it wasn't for the black gold or the black diamonds, they would have never thought about inventing or developing the country. The countries, they would have never thought about that. But it had so much money in black gold that they said, well, all of this money, what do we do with it? And there were always someone on the side say, okay, well, you have all these monies. Let's put them in infrastructure. That's how they're doing. When Trump comes on and says they're rich, you give them a year or two from now. If that thing, whatever they're doing over there, if that carnage, that stupidity keep going on, because they're whacking each other and doing it back and forth. Like I don't know if he's going to move into a new phase, Mr. Trump, into that whole thing. But whatever it is that you're going to do, Mr. Trump, just get out of that stuff. I'm coming to tell you. Don't even go into it. Don't go into it for no one. I don't think Israel wants that either. And when I talk of Israel, I'm not talking about the people who want issue all over. All the time they're fighting wars. No. I mean, at some point your generation going to be tired. That's the truth. Like, you can't keep fighting for freedom your entire life. Since the onset of the state of Israel, they've been fighting the whole time. And I remember I was a little boy, and my mom used to equate this whole thing to Bible story. And I wish she was alive today so she can see that whole thing is a facade. It's nothing, it's not even related to them. No Bible. That was a whole theology to back these people actions. And my mother didn't even know that stuff. And she was like, oh, you have to, and that's the case for most Africans. You have to support. You know, like she was one of the stunted fans of Israel battle. But I think even the generation in Israel, it's not all of them now. You got to be realistic. But some of them want peace. I think Israel, Mr. Trump, can be a great country. I think they can live in peace. I think Israel can be a great force for change, not just in that region, but I think across the globe. Look, when I was in high school, I had a lot of Jewish teachers. Yeah, my English teacher was a Jew, a Jewish man, one of the most decent person. And he embraced me. He took me under his arms. And even when I struggle with grammar, you know, imagine an African guy, he would help me structure my sentences. He gave me books about the Holocaust, that's for sure. He gave me books to read. Now looking back, I understand why he gave me those books. I've watched many movies on the Holocaust. The Holocaust is not new to me. I watched movies to the point where I started doing research on what happened to the European Jews. That's why if you watch me, for anyone comes on here to hear what I say about Israel or Jewish people, I've studied them. I studied the history of Europe and the Jew. It's not new. Stuff has been happening for thousands of years. To the European Jews, everywhere they go, people persecute them, push them away, malign them, sideline them. We're talking about a generation of people. And this, my friend, is the case for the Palestinians too. Yeah. Now, I've always said, I think Palestine and Israel can live in that place. And I think that's what Trump needs to talk about. On the day he comes to face the nation, that the only solution is to make peace. Iran would have never been in this situation if it wasn't for Palestine. If it wasn't for Gaza, that's the truth. We saw these things in real time. Trump has all his historians, but none of them can reinvent history in real time, because we see it. No historian can rewrite history like they did the American history books. It was later on that I started to learn that most of the things that they said in the American history books were all facade and lies. I learned that the entire education system in this country was revamped by the Rockefeller brothers or something, family. So yeah, facing the nation on Thursday, Mr. Trump, and talk about peace. Look, no one winning the war. Imagine, Mr. Trump, if Iran had come to between the Gulf, it's called the Gulf of America. Now it used to be called the Gulf of Mexico. Now it's called the Gulf of America. Imagine if they were right there and they were instigating fight with you for that little place right there, that Gulf. How would you feel? They're 3,000 miles away. Look, I'll be the first person to be on this channel talking about them getting out of that place. You know why? Because the proximity is closer to homeland. You understand? I'll be the most patriotic person that you'll be like, oh, go on, boy. You see? Because a threat to your home is a threat to your family. Your home is like your family. And your home is like the country you live in. You understand? So it's the same thing. I know President Trump is a man with common sense. That's what I saw in him. I'm not gonna sit here and lie or say I didn't vote for Trump. I did. Yeah, I did. I did, not even once. Yeah. And this is the reason why I talk about you, sir. I hope that, again, just use common sense. Is Don't look at the world like how the world was seen in the 60s. The world in the 60s, it's a different place now. We're talking about a long time. It's a different place. And even the way people fight war now is different. It's changed. Don't know how the future wars are gonna look like. I'm hoping. My hope is that we can heal the world of no wars. Um, I don't know if it's a realistic dream or not, but it's always good to dream of good things. People who want peace, because in order for humanity to grow and develop, the world has to be in peace. Imagine the world doing what all the event that happened during the first war and the second war. Millions of human beings die unnecessarily. Some of these people were moved by propagandas. Some of these people had no clue what was happening to them. People were fighting wars that they never knew about. Their generation were in darkness. I don't want to use the word darkness. Their generation were ignorant of what was happening to them, that they were fighting for. They were fighting Charlie Wilson War. They were fighting the Rich Man War. They were fighting wars of powerful people who just wanted them to fight each other because they wanted to enjoy what was happening. Some of these people were fighting wars as for sacrifices, human sacrifices for blood. To some of these people, evil fantasies, the people, the powers that run this earth, human beings. So, yeah, so our generation now is quite different. Our world is quite different. And I think if it's not this generation, the generation to come, that will be my children. I don't think they will be dumb. I don't think they will be clueless. That's what I want to say, clueless, because information is going to be at their disposal. They're going to be able to touch information, feel information, hear information, comprehend information at their convenience. And that's a good thing. I don't think the battle for the Strait of Hormuz should continue, Mr. Trump. Whoever's with you, Pete Hesek is a disappointment because Pete Hesek was someone that I watch constantly. I mean, I used to watch Fox News when he was there. I used to watch Fox News all the time. Not everything that I took off on there because I'm a free thinker. I'm someone that thinks for myself. But I used to watch it. And I used to watch it whenever he came on in the morning. I think it was on Sunday morning. But and I always listen to when he talked, and to see him miss just walking in your footstep and not saying, "Sir, it's my generation. My generation." Just keep reminding you, it's our generation. We're the ones that are gonna take it from here. The other one was talking about bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Unfortunately, he's not gonna see the decision. That's Lindsey Graham. He's not going to see the decision that you're going to make on Thursday, unfortunately. You know? See, this is life. Life is not guaranteed. Because life is not guaranteed. The living must do whatever they can to guarantee the lives of those who are alive. You understand? You cannot be on this planet and support and promote the destruction of life and don't think of yours. because yours is not guaranteed. All of us are going to exit this world someday. But what we leave behind is our legacy. And that's what people are going to remember you for, good or bad. And you shouldn't be surprised when you exit this world and people say terrible things about you. And they're not saying them because they want to be mean or not sensitive. They're saying them to you because of how you live your life on this planet. And that's the reason why I believe when someone live a shitty life on this planet, say they're deadbeat dad, they are terrible human beings with their relationship with others, their communities, their country, whatever they've done, when they passes away, let's break protocol. Let's break it. When you go to that funeral, don't lie about these people. Don't lie. If it's your dad, say what he's been. If it's your mom, say what they've been. If it's your uncle, your nephew, your cousin, if it's, yeah, just say what where they were, what they're doing. Don't go there and pretend to talk about good things about them when they were not. Say the things that you know about them. If they didn't take care of you, if they were not there for you when you were alive, when they were alive, say it. If they didn't take care of responsibility, if they were not decent person in the community, if they were taking things from people that do not belong to them, when they pass away and you're given the opportunity to talk about them, say these things. Because at the end of the day, you're going to live with them. You're going to live with them. You're going to live with the fact that you had the opportunity to talk about this person and how shitty and how terrible they were, and you didn't do it. So if you're given the opportunity to talk about them, say it. Clear the air so that way you are free in your mind. If you're a child that this person treated you terribly and you're given the opportunity, say it. Don't be afraid. Don't hesitate to say it. If you didn't have a good relationship with your mom, if you didn't have a good relationship with your sister, if you didn't have a good relationship with your father, your uncle, your nephew, your niece, the community, your pastor, your boss, your co-worker, if you go to the funeral, and you, my friend, is given the opportunity to say something on their behalf, say exactly what that person was. Although people are because people are not used to these things. Some people are going to be upset. But guess what? There are a majority of people in our audience that you don't know that have crossed this person's life when they were alive, that have crossed them, that have done business with them, that have had interaction with them. And they know how shitty. Let me tell you, when you say the truth, that moment, they will be so happy because that's the truth. So, Mr. President, Mr. Trump, as long as you're president, you owe me my vote. I'm not going to be one of those people that sit there in despair, in disgust, and say terrible things about you. I'm just going to keep holding you accountable because I voted for you on one issue. There are many others, but it was against war. Most of the promises that you made, you said once you become president on day one. This was even though I didn't believe that, but it was soothing to know that on day one you will end the war in Ukraine. And look up to now. Another thing, I want to draw a comparison between the war in Ukraine with Russia and the one in between Trump, aka Israel, and Iran. If you notice, you see the war in Ukraine, Mr. Trump, you see Putin, he's not talking. They are, look, if you see some of the scene in Ukraine, Mr. Trump, it's not nice. I think you've said something about that too, about the young boys, really young men. They are begging for their lives, Mr. Trump. When that drone comes, I've seen these things. Not nice. That's someone's son, someone's uncle, someone's brother, someone's nephew being obliterated. Your words, Trump. Just like that. It's not nice. That man, Putin, you barely hear him talk. And I think that's what I think you should be, Trump. Stop talking. Stop talking. I hope that when you give the speech on Thursday, after that speech, don't say nothing. Let me tell you, real men that want to bout and fight, real men now, that wants to fight, never tells you that he is going to punch you. He never tells you, look, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to hit you. Real men that want to bout, just throw punches. They don't have to give you any signal like, look, I'm going to hit you, bro. They just throw punches. The more you talk, Mr. Trump, the less it makes you look weak. I know you don't want to hear that. I mean, the idea that America is invincible, it's on the displays. Everyone is talking. The only thing, you don't watch the other news. If you keep watching Fox News, you wouldn't see what's happening out there. But like your people like us in the country, we don't watch those other news because they don't tell the truth. But if you watch other news and see, like, even people in Europe making fun of you, and even though you went off track, but you're still president, you still represent the country. Whatever you do is in the name of this country for sure. So, but we don't like seeing you coming back and forth and making statements, and it turns out not to be true. So not to be disrespectful or anything like that, because you have to respect the office. But yeah, it's honest, man. Stop speaking. If you're going to do action, Thursday must be the day. You have two choices. There's two roads. America is at the crossroad with you. So you standing at the juncture, that podium that on Thursday night, is your junction, Mr. Trump. It's the crossroad that you are standing at. And there are two directions. One is on the right and one is on the left. Not talking about political ideology. I'm just talking about the direction that you're going to be facing that day. So you come out that day, Mr. President, Mr. Presidente, and you take the direction of the people. Because when you look at polling, not the one they skew or the fake ones, the real poll that they do on Americans, majority of Americans are not in favor of that war. The fight for the Strait of Hormuz. And the fight for the Strait of Hormuz, Mr. Trump, is unintended consequences, because that wasn't even in the picture. Now it becomes that. Come on that day, sir, and say, it's two directions. Go right or we go left. we are going to choose the path that will make America great. For me, it's all about America. Very simple. I have children. In as much as I care about this country, I also care about the future of my country and myself too. I want to do better. I want to do better for them. Get it? I don't care much about politicians because politicians, they have enough money to, like, if something should happen in this country or to the economy, it's going to affect me more than it would affect these people. These people have enough money to last as long as they want. I don't. And so are millions of Americans. So we're always seeking the interest of what's good for us. And I think when you come to that podium or when you face the nation on Thursday, at the back of your mind should not be anything. It should not be any colony state. It should not be any supporters of yours, lobbyists. It should not be any millionaire, billionaire, trillionaires. It shouldn't be anyone that's supporting war. At the back of your mind, first and foremost, must be this country. At the back of your mind must be the American people. And at the back of your mind, sir, must be what's best for this country. And at the back of your mind, you must say that peace is the way out. America is not a country that fight war. We fought that war a long time. I'm not saying we, because the spirit of the ancestor lives in me. The war has already been fought. The American Revolutionary War, the American Civil War, was one of the most deathless war recorded in history. So we're not going back to that. We'll never go back to that. We can't be all over the world doing that. And then they ask you that some of them, like the real warmongers ones now, they'll tell you we're fighting for America, except we're not doing it on the soil. You'd be like, say what? Fighting for America, how? Are you fighting for resources outside of America? What are you fighting for? See, that's the question. I think that can only be told to people who don't understand how blessed this country is. I mean, not all America doesn't have all the resources that it might need, but compared to other countries or other continent, America is rich in resource. True. Yeah. I don't have time to list all of the things that this country is blessed with, but there's nothing you want to do as far as technology is concerned that America doesn't have. Resource, natural resource, God-given resource. This country is blessed from sea to sea to shore, north, east, west, south. Blessed. You understand? So these politicians, they know these things. So if they ever come to you and tells you America has to fight, for who? For what? You know, there are people that wants to be controlled. I did a video on that. There are types of people. There are kinds of people. There are people that are sheep. There are people that are goats in our world. They want to be led by others. Yeah. And people who understand human minds know these things. Most of these politicians, they surround themselves with these people. They understand how people think. They know what a community wants. Imagine an entire community, a race of people, can be voting for the same individual decades. And if you look at the community, it's trash. It's nothing. Despair, misery is everywhere. And yet they're still voting for the same senator, the same congressman, and you can see no outcome. And you look at the whole situation and say, what's going on here? And even their children are asking the same question. Their moms, their dad, keep voting for the same person. So these people understand these things, that you're always going to have these people in our world. And there's nothing you can do. So Trump, I hope when you speak to the nation on Thursday, you're thinking about people who, there are millions of people now. When I say millions, I'm talking about young people that love to see young people in Israel having fun too. That love to see, in times of peace now and prosperity, that love to see people in Lebanon, young people in Lebanon, going to the club, having fun, doing fun things, things that young people do. There are young people in this country that want to see young people in Gaza with smiles on their faces, enjoying the things doing the things that young people loves to do, thinking about having their fun and thinking about settling down and having a family. People in Jordan, people in Africa, people in Lebanon, people in Iran, people in Pakistan, people in England, all over the world. The young people in this country that wants the same thing for other people across the globe. So think about these people, my friend. Think about them. At this point, the only thing I can say is I just hope you pull out. Don't go into that place. The battle for the Strait of Hormuz is not even necessary. It's not. The way you show strength, it's not how you show strength. If you're going to show strength, Mr. Trump, on the battle for the Strait of Hormuz, it has to be a collective effort. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have the whole world. When Hitler, calling the German way, when Hitler was going against the world, you saw what happened. The greatest generation stood up. Men and women from all walks of life. We're talking about dozens of countries. Majority of them, Russia, went to that battle. If you look at the skills of the victims of that war, World War II, majority of the victims were Russians. And the Russian people have not changed from their mentality of resistance. You understand? Resistance, if it wasn't for resistance, Hitler would have, look, majority of Africa would have been speaking German, true. Most countries would have been speaking German. But people resisted. So, Mr. Trump, you're always going to have resistance. Resistance is not new. People will resist because people want to be left alone. People want to be free. Nobody can ever attack this country. Because if you attack America, there are millions of Americans that will resist. It changed the whole dichotomy. People start talking about you. People start talking about whoever did that nonsense. You understand? So this country, man, I saw this stuff. I saw it after 9/11. It's how the country is. But people, the same people that would do that are the same people, the same patriots that would stand up for injustice done to anyone. This is the uniqueness of this country. It is what I talk about here. Let's talk about that. So yeah, whatever you do, like when you do these videos, just so much to talk about. Yeah, but yeah, when you do go to the Face the Nation on Thursday, because if you come on there, you don't say something about peace. If you come on there, you talk about escalation. Hey, we're gonna be listening. And for those of us that never voted for that stuff, you're not going to be happy with you. You're not going to be happy. We're not going to be excited. Because for me, there's nothing happy about war. Dropping bombs on people. Like, if you're going to fight a war, just put the troops on the ground, bro. I think if that's your aim, that day, Mr. Trump, just on Thursday, don't drop no bombs again. Yeah, that's not an even fight, because you don't know who is under that place. Just put the troops down. If it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, let the American people know that you're going to be going there for like a 1 month, 6 months. I think 6 months. That's what he's looking for. Because if you look at the time frame from how this whole thing that Trump been doing is strategically planned. If you see how he's doing it. So whatever time, war don't have time. And based on what we saw during the funeral in Iran, that's an indication of a place that I don't want any soul to go, especially fellow Americans. I don't want no Americans to be over there. That's the fact. Any sons, daughters, nephew, uncle, brother, don't go down there. It's not a friendly place. I mean, I'm not saying that the Iranian people are not friendly people to Americans. I don't think they have issues with us. I think they have issues with Mr. Trump. That's who they have issues with. But unfortunately, Trump represents this country. That's the unfortunate part by this whole thing. And some of us, we blame ourselves. But we did not make that decision based on, not that we're ignorant. I'm not a stupid person. I know that for a fact. We did that because we love humanity. And anyone with a good intention, because America is still the war, hegemony. America still is. I haven't seen any move yet from anyone, although they're projecting China. Yeah, we can see it. But America still is. And I think America can remain that, a great force for change in this country if Trump can turn this whole thing around and move on. We don't want our boys over there. We don't want our girls or beautiful men and women. We don't want them over there, Mr. Trump. But I tell you, if you want to go that route, the best thing to do is 2 things. Put troops on the ground. And if you're going to do that, stop talking. Talk too much. And when you talk too much, your enemies, if you watch them, they're not talking. If they say we do something, they show the receipt, like, and you just keep talking, but receipt. And when you do that, in our time now, there's so many news. I'm not talking about the traditional ones now. There's so many places you can get information on Trump, on almost anything you want to know now. This is how great technology, even though they try to censor some of the things, but you can still get information. If you're someone that's curious now, you can get information on almost anything you want to know about what Mr. Trump says. So the moment you come and say something, Trump, smart people, intelligent people, wise people who are not just listening to what traditional news are saying, they have a way. Mr. Trump is a secret. I'm going to tell you. So when you say something, they go figure out. And guess what? They don't keep that information to themselves, President Trump. They come and they tell the whole world, like the people. They put it on their platform. And the video go viral, Mr. Trump. And then the whole world sees it. So sometimes, just let it. That's my own advice. If that's the path you're going to choose, yeah, you can do it that way. But make sure boys don't go down there. Put like some robot, AI army. Put an AI army. they're probably going to meet some plastic bags on the road to Tehran. And it's going to be like, welcome. They're going to put a white flag up. And then they're going to be like, bring us democracies. We want democracies. Democracies. So, yeah, in short, sometimes just leave people alone. Just leave them alone. If they want to be with the Ayatollah, whatever, let them be. If they want to live with the women, we've done some research now. I didn't know much about Iran. I did, but ever since this thing going on over there, little Tom and Jerry back and forth fighting, because the real fight is what's happening in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. That's real fight. This one is just play. Because how the hell you're gonna say you're fighting a war and you're negotiating, going to meeting and all this waste of money? If you're gonna fight real fight, you don't do that. Fight the fight. After you get finished fighting, both of you are bruised, then someone come in the middle and say, let's make peace. That's real fight. But that stuff is joke. Hindering global commerce, ruining our world, putting the price of everything up. That's nonsense. This is how I see it. You understand? So yeah, you have choice. Trump. You are the CEO. You assess situation and then you bring your assessment to the Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees in this case, if that's how, at least ideally, that's what it's supposed to be. The Board of Trustees are the American people. If it truly is the American people, then your findings from your assessment should be that cut it off. Call it off. It's over. Yeah, it's over. That's the area. Everybody stays in the area. That's the area. That's the zone. Let them stay there. You know, who you fighting for? Saudi Arabia? Who you fighting for? Kuwait? They've already decimated all of your bases in there. So, and that's the truth. Like, the thing is, when we say these things, it's the truth. Like, eventually, the truth will come out. Like, all of those bases, the one in Bahrain, the truth is going to come out. At the end of the day, I don't care how long it takes. They can suppress the truth however they want. It's going to come out. You know the effect of what these people have done. And these are billions of dollars of damages. And they're not going to be able to rebuild most of those infrastructures. Yeah, it's not going to be built like today, tomorrow. No. It's not necessary, man. Call it off. So I've always say, the greatest thing that could ever happen to anyone is not the day you're born. Understand? That's in the case of Lindsey Graham. Not the day you had your first car, the day you graduated from high school, became a lawyer, doctor, none of that. The greatest thing that could ever happen to anyone is the day you discover yourself. Because from that moment on, everything starts making sense to you. You understand there's time for everything. There's time for peace. And there's time to say no to war. Yes, it's time for war. You've had it now. You've made your point. There's time for that. You've made that point. Now it's time for you to say, it's over. Every war ends anyway, no matter what. It's going to end somehow, someday, on a specific time. And I think whatever decision you're going to make on Thursday, my friend, is to end that war. I want to say thanks to everyone that watched my video. I want to say thanks to those who are loyal to my platform. I hope that you are doing great. And most importantly, my friend, I hope that you and your family are in good health. And I hope that all is blessing for you. Thank you and have a great day. Thanks.